Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to another video. My name is Prince Mason. Today, I want to show you how you can color grade with Capture One's new AI tools, and why I think everybody should actually jump on this, especially if you are a portrait photographer and you like color grading your images. So today we're going to focus on color grading our images. As you can see, we have an image here, and I'm just showing you guys, both images here, the retouched one and the image that has not been retouched. This is not straight out of the camera, this is color graded. And if you want to get your images to look retouched like this, then check out my beauty retouching pack, my pro retouching pack. Put a link in the description below. I think everybody should get that because it will just make retouching a lot easier for you. So definitely check that out. So what we're going to do right now is just jump on one of these images and I'll show you the before right here and the after. So you guys can see there's more life in the image. The image looks richer. It just looks really, really beautiful. Look at the before, look at the after. The before looked like they were wearing any colors in it, but look at the after, it looks great. So what we're going to do right now is just reset this image, right? And we'll jump straight into this. We're not going to waste a lot of time, but I'll try my best to explain how you can do this at home and, just do it as easily as possible. So what the AI tool does is that it selects either the image, your subject, or your background. That's what the AI tool does, right? And we have it here, your AI mask and AI background. So the first thing we want to do with this image is just work on it generally, right? And as you can see, the image is properly exposed. By the way, this image was shot by Olabisi. He's my friend and an amazing photographer. I'll put a link on the screen here to his Instagram page, and I'll put his Instagram handle on the screen and put a link in the description. Do definitely check him out. It's a photographer here in Toronto too. So the first thing I want to do is just work on the exposure of this image. The exposure looks great. I don't think there's anything really wrong with the exposure. So I'm probably just going to leave it like this. If anything, I would probably just brighten the image just a little bit and maybe just add some contrast to the image. So let's see what our before and after looks like. It looks great. So what I want to do is work on the background and our subject individually. So the first thing I want to do is select our background. So I'm going to select our background here, and Capture One is preparing background mask. So we'll do its thing, we'll select your background. Now, sometimes it's not perfect, but let's see what that looks like. So we're going to click M on our keyboard. As you can see, it selected the background, but we have some hair here, somewhere around here, that it has not selected, right? No problem. What we're going to do, or, some parts of, and not the hair, but in here that it has not selected, which we would want it to select, to be very honest. So what we're going to do right now is just click on our AI brush here, and we will come in here. It's preparing AI mask, so just let it prepare its mask. Once it's done that, you see what will start happening. Okay, great. So right here we're saying, okay, select this part. We're telling it to add this part to the mask. Once you get in there, I'm just going to, anywhere you put your brush, I'm just going to remove my cursor. It would say, it would be asking basically that, should I include this part into the mask? So we're going to say include this part right here. So we'll click on it, and you can see automatically it has included that part. We'll say include these parts too right here. We'll click on it, it would include that part, right? We'll say this part right here. But the bad thing about it is, when you are working on some areas, what it does is that it tries to pick the whole hair. So for us to work on these individual parts, we would have to zoom in very well and then work on this. Now still not working, but you can see now we can get some of these parts in there, but we're going to zoom out, and it's going to take us a while to fix all that up. So I'm just going to turn on my Wacom, and what I can do is just pick either the how would I put it, the magic brush, and see if the magic brush is going to work for us. Just paint this part in, and hopefully the magic brush will be able to make a decent selection. Let's see what it will do. Not really. Command Z, or we're just going to pick a regular brush. Now I'm pretty sure over a period of time the AI will get better, because this is a pretty difficult what do I call it, This is a pretty difficult mask to do, to be very honest. So I'm pretty sure over a period of time, the AI would definitely get better at this. So what I'm going to do is just brush these parts in by myself. I don't mind if it's touching the hair, but I just want the background selected a bit more. So this part, I don't mind if it's touching the hair, to be very honest. Okay, great. So now we got our mask out of the way. So what I'm going to do is just zoom out, and I'll click M on my keyboard again to make my mask disappear. So now that I have done that, what I can do now is start working on my background colors. So to color grade my background, what I'm going to do is go to color up here, and I'll use my 3-way color corrector, right? So if I want to add some contrast to the background, I can pull down my shadows to add some contrast to the background, maybe pull down my midtones too, just make the background a bit contrasty. And if I want to, I can increase my highlights, but let's say we want our subject to stand out, so we just reduce our highlights too, and then we can start working on the background. So for my shadows, what I'm going to do is probably add some blues, close to greens, maybe still make my highlights warmer at the background. No, that's too much. I don't like that. So I'll cool the highlights, midtones. Yeah, I'll just make my midtones just a tad bit warmer, just warmer. Then I'll still drag my shadows down a little bit. Now, by doing this, you guys can see automatically we're working on our background, but it's not affecting our subject, as you can see. So it's just affecting everything that's behind our subject. Now, the reason why I absolutely love this is that it just gives you more control of how you want your subject to look, and also how you want the background to look. And what AI does is that, or the AI masking does is that, it just makes it a lot easier for you. And I'm pretty excited about this feature, to be very honest, because now in Capture One, I can color grade my raw images, and I don't have to wait till I get to Photoshop to be able to mask and color grade, the way I want it to be. So now what we're going to do is select our subject. Hopefully it will get this mask done a bit better, so we would not have to worry too much. So now we have our subject mask. What we're going to do is click on M on the keyboard. It did a pretty decent job. As you can see, it has some of the trees in the background, but that's not a problem. I feel like once it's got in our subject skin, we are good. So for our subject, what I want to do is just increase the shadows just a little bit to make our subject stand out. As you can see, this is not affecting our background at all. So look at our before and our after. Before, after. By the way, I'm doing before and after for the whole image. So our subject, so this is our before and our after. Before, after, before, after. That's taken a while to load. And then what I can do is also add some contrast to her skin. So just pull in the highlights just a little bit, and then dragging the shadows. That is too much. I don't know why it's taking so long to respond, but yeah. So let's see what our before and after looks like. Before, after. As you can see, the image is standing out. The image is starting to look really, really good. But the amazing thing is that we are working on this individually, right? Let's say I want her to just be a little bit warmer. What I can do is just make her warmer and just add some greens, just some tint in there, just to make that look better. So let's see our before, see our after. And this is how you can then color grade your image individually. And now that we've done this, what we can do is just create another layer. So what we're going to do is just create a new by the way, I'm just going to fill that layer mask. Typically it would just be a new filled layer, and on our filled layer we can then color grade individually. So together, collectively. So now let's say you just have like a particular color you're going for, so we can add some just add some blues, some more blues to our shadows, our midtones. We can then just put some reds to our midtones, some warmth to our midtones, and then for our highlight, I think we'll still drop our highlights down and just give it some cyan in there. So let's see what our before and our after looks like. You guys can see it looks absolutely gorgeous. It just looks great. This color grade is amazing, right? Okay, great. It just works perfectly for this image. Okay, so let's say you are trying to copy all the settings you have from one image to the other one. So all your adjustments you've made from one to the other one, right? There are two ways to go about this. As you guys know, I made some adjustments to my mask. Not this one. I'm just going to go to my background mask. I made some adjustments to my background mask. I don't know why that is not coming up right here where I painted manually. Because I did that, what we can't do is save this as a style. Now, when you save it as a style and you apply to the other image, what Capture One does is automatically selects your subject and your background and then applies the style. But because we cannot do that for this particular image, what we're going to do is just copy all our settings. What we're going to do right now is apply to this image manually. It's a longer process, but if you worked on your mask to make it better, just made some adjustments to make your mask a lot better, like I did. What you can do is this manual setting. So what I'm going to do right now is just copy my adjustments from this particular image, go to this image and apply my adjustments. I know it looks wonky right now because it has like the other mask around it, and that's totally fine. So what we're going to do is create a new background mask. You let Capture One do its thing. Probably going to take a few seconds to do that. Now Capture One has done its thing. What I'm going to do is come down here to my background mask one and go to copy mask style from 2. So what that does automatically is Capture One is telling this to copy, from this mask right here to copy from this mask up here, right? And what we're going to do is create our subject mask 2, and should do that in second 2. And now that's done that, what we're going to do is go to our subject mask and say copy mask from subject mask 2. And what that has done automatically is made our image, just a lot better because it has created another mask for our image using those adjustments that we made previously. So what we're going to do is just click on it. So this is our mask for our background mask 1. As you can see, it's not perfect, but I mean, it's doing a great job. And mask 2, okay, great. Now, let's say you are trying to make this a lot faster. Now, what I'm not going to do for this particular image is adjust our mask at all, because I'm just going to delete our subject mask 1 and I'm going to delete our background mask 2. Sorry, our subject mask 2 and background mask 2, right? Well, let's just say I want to save this in a way where it can automatically do everything by itself, without me having to manually adjust, anything, manually copy over my settings to this particular, to the next image or the next image. I just want everything to work, perfectly. What I'll do is go to my styles. I just go to my styles and then I will save a custom style. While I'm saving the custom style, I will tell you to take the adjustment layer 1. I'll tell you to take the subject mask and take the background mask. I want you to take all these things right here and then I'll save. So right now I'm just going to save this as AI color grade. Let's just save it as AI color. Damn, my spelling's terrible. Anyways, AI color grade, right? And then I will save it. So what I'm going to do is right now I'm just going to reset this particular image and then go to adjustment, styles, custom styles, AI color grade. So what it's going to do is apply all the styles, but at the same time, what it's doing right now is that it's creating a mask. So we have our mask. What Capture One is going to automatically do is create every mask. So if you go to our background mask, click on M, you can see it created a background mask for us. And if you go to our subject mask, click on M, you can see it created a subject mask for us, right? Now let's go to this original image where we made some adjustments, right? And just reset everything. So reset everything to 0. What we can do is go to our adjustments, go to styles, custom styles, AI color grade. And it will create all the masks that you need, the subject mask, your background mask, and then apply the color grades to each one. So now we can go to our background mask, click on M. You can go in manually at this point to make whatever adjustments you want to make. And then we'll go to our subject mask, click on M, and you can see it's created a subject mask. So if for some reason we just want to try with other images that are not these images that we've used here, let's say we go to this image, not this one, let's just try, these are edited, let's just go up and try some random images. I don't know what it will look like here, but let's just try it on this image. So what we're going to do is adjustments, go to styles, custom styles, AI color grade. It will select the subject, it will select background, and what it will do is it will color grade the image. So let's see what this one will look like when it's done. Give it a second, 2, 3, and ta-da, you guys can see the color grade. So before, after. So if we go to let's say color or adjust, wherever you go to, you look at your background mask, you click M, you can see that's your background mask, right? And if you go to our subject mask, you can see it's selected as subject, right? And then, I mean, for this image now, what you can do is go to your background mask and then work individually. So if we want to reduce our highlights, we can reduce our highlights to, you know, make this better. If you want to warm up the background, you can then just warm up the background just a little bit, just to, you know, just work on the background separately from your subject. Then we'll go to our subject. You can make some adjustments. If you feel like the shadows are too much, you can reduce the shadows. But what you can do right now with color grading like this is you have control over your subject and you have control over your background, and you don't have to do everything together. You can work on them individually. So that's why I feel like color grading with Capture One's new AI is just amazing, and it just gives you a lot of options. And there we go. That's how to color grade using Capture One's new AI. If you guys absolutely love this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see the edited version or the edited video that I'm going to make, where I'll be retouching this video in Photoshop, subscribe, because that's going to be coming next. And yeah, we're going to take these 2 photos into Photoshop and edit them using my Pro Retouching Pack. If you haven't gotten that, I'll put a link in the description below. Check that out. And I'm thinking right now, maybe I should make some AI styles for portraits that I feel like would just be amazing. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day. Peace out, guys.